Hey YouTubers, Raven here.
Starfire.
And hey, we're doing the last 2 episodes of The Flash.
Yes, season 8, episode 10 and episode 11. So episode 10 is called Reckless and episode 11 is called Resurrection.
Okay, so the first episode.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was good. I literally put that I was so happy that we finally got a West Allen kiss.
It's been too long.
It's been so long, okay?
Mm-hmm.
It's been too long. Want to use the gift from Titanic? It's been 84 years. Because actually how I found out was because I saw a GIF of it on Tumblr of the kiss, and it said it was in episode 10, and I'm like, we finally get a kiss, and then I watch it, it's like right at the beginning of the episode, and yeah, so I was happy about that.
Yeah. I was rather happy about it too. And like, dude, as soon as the episode ended and we saw, what's his name? Devin? I think that was his name originally. Anyway, slow-mo, Mr. Slow. He was talking to Iris. I was just like, yes, there's several things messing up around her. Yes, things are disappearing temporal stream because she got time babies running around her up. Come on now. She got little speed babies just messing with the time force.
They still haven't mentioned them and it's bothering me.
I'm so mad. I'm like, she doesn't have a condition. She doesn't have this. She doesn't have that. Like, pregnant. When will you guys get through
them to specifically come out and say the reason that this is happening is because she's pregnant.
Right?
Like, how long are they going to draw it out? We have 9 episodes left of the season.
Right. Apparently, like I was telling you, I watched Paigey. And apparently she's supposed to be gone for a couple episodes this season in the back half. So we're going to have a couple episodes later without her in it. So, but then the promo showed her in it next week. Or next episode.
Yeah, but this tonight's episode is episode 13. There's 20 episodes.
Right.
So it'll probably
the episode ended
maybe closer
with her. I mean, we're not getting into the second episode. But the way it ended with her, I'm like, how is she?
Yeah,
she's gonna be in tonight's episode.
Yeah.
So I thought that's where she would leave. You know.
Oh yeah, because she's missing. Yeah, I wondered that too. But then I saw her in the promo, and then I watched a clip from tonight's episode last night. And yeah, it was a very Iris clip.
Yeah. But yeah, it's first episode was good.
It was.
Because I just watched them back to back, my mind is like seeing them.
So Caitlin's mom is back.
Enjoyed that. I did also enjoy I'm sorry, Jake sent me a GIF. So I also enjoyed the like how she's like, yes, how they explained the of her meta test from a couple seasons ago. Because we've been waiting, you know, because we all know that the color that the change to reflect that she is in fact a meta. But it took longer than it should have. And they explained that by the fact that her powers haven't awakened, but she has the residual energy with her to become one. She could awaken it if she so chose. Like, okay, so she's a meta, but she's not a meta. Okay. Yeah. So that's why it took so long for the color to change, that they just walked off and didn't notice it. So it's not walk around randomly shooting people with her ice powers. Okay, I get it. Dude, before we found out who was in the fire, I straight up started that, like, maybe it's Ice Mama lost control of her, doesn't even know she's doing it because she doesn't know she's a meta, right? Like, I straight up for a while, like, I was like, it's she's gonna be killing people because she can't control it. She doesn't know. She's like, especially because it's going after people who are like suffering a loss. She just lost, like, she thought she'd lost those years ago, right? But she just lost him again. Heal, you know? And so I was like, it tracks, it follows. She's mourning the loss of her husband again. Like, after seeing that he was able to defeat the darkness within him and save them, and then she lost him and he's gone. Like, she's grieving all over again, hope. And then she lost it, right? So I'm like, this has to be this ice fire, right? Right? Like,
yeah.
So like, I was like, this is what's happening. Yeah. So then I was like, I was all like, this is why it's not working with her here. This is why it knew what they were doing when Frost tried to trap it, is because they knew, like, because she knows what's going on because she was there planning it. So that's how the fire knew not to get too close. It's like, you know, I'm like, it's because Frost Mama knows what's going on here. But then it's like, nope. I'm like, okay, but my idea was good though. And it makes sense. It tracks. Initially, that's why I was like, are we gonna lose Ice Mama? Are we gonna? And then I was like, okay, so that's probably not it. And then I was like, when she does become a meta, you know, like, because I'm worried about her. Because the way she became the way she had meta genes added into her, like, she could be consumed just like the dad was, you know, because they weren't added into the same way that Caitlyn's that Frost was at, you know. He didn't have that technology back then. So however he did it, like, and the evil part of him that added it into her, you know? So what did he do? Was he able to manipulate the DNA that he added into her that would make her meta? You know? Since he was evil when he did, was he able to influence it? Like, is she going to be ice meta, or does she have a strong enough will, like, a power to overcome it, like he did in those last few moments, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. I have a lot of thoughts going on about that in my head right now. I'm worried about her.
Oh, about her mom?
Yeah, especially like the way she was talking with Frost. I was like, she's dead. She's dead this episode. Because she was getting too close to her, accepting her, go out to dinner, I'll pay for it. I'm like, bitch is dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. The weather's kicking my ass.
What kind of weather is it? Is it cold?
Oh, today it's nice and sunny. Yesterday
It was what?
it was snowing yesterday, and today it's nice and sunny.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so like dries out my nose and my throat, so I have to keep hydrated. And then when it's cold, everything, and it's just like, so yeah. So if I continue to cough, it's because everything's dry and I'm not sick. So
No, it's
y'all
okay.
don't have to worry.
I understand. I mean, it was like that when I went to Chicago and New York too. Like Chicago, the first few days we were there was like 30s and like freaking cold AF. I brought my puffy jacket with me. And then by the time the weekend came when the convention was, it was warmer. Well, like one of the days actually like snowed, but we were in the building, so I didn't see it, of course.
Mm-hmm.
That's always what happens. But yeah, so by Sunday and like Monday, because we were in Chicago from like Wednesday to Wednesday, so we were there a week.
Mm-hmm.
And so like the first few days, like up till about Sunday-ish, maybe Saturday, like it was really cold.
Yeah, today's high is 38, 30.
And then like Monday, Tuesday, it had started to warm up. It was like in the 50s and stuff. And then New York, the first day we were there, because we got there Wednesday evening, and we were there from Thursday through Sunday. So like Thursday was like warm, and I had brought warm clothes with me. So it was like 70 something on Thursday in New York. And I was like, I'm dying. Like I had jeans on and it was like really hot. And I'm like, ugh. And then the other day was nicer, but
it's gonna be in the highs, like the high this entire week is 63.
That one day it was really warm, and I'm just like, oh my god.
So it's all gonna be like low to mid 50s this week.
I mean, at night it got cooler, but like in the daytime it was still really warm.
Right. No, the nighttime reaches.
But yeah, so it was like the weather was very unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
So, here,
I mean, I'm not miserable. I stay warm, so that's
here. It's just been in the 70s
and
low 80s.
Right. But yeah, so I'm worried a bit about Ice Mama there.
Yeah.
Expect them to bring her in, and then like the look that Frost gave when she's like, I was like, frack are you gonna go do? Like, what?
Yeah.
So
what did Iris do? Is her mom just gone?
Yeah, just like the hairbrush and the cell phone. And
will she come back?
I don't know.
Like
I oh, she might have just killed Tiana, whatever her name is.
Tiana.
Might have just killed her mom. Gone forever.
That's so sad.
Right?
She just got to see her mom and just got to like connect with her, and then
Iris was messing with these she shouldn't have been messing with.
Like
the state put like slow-mo told her to.
Yep.
Like she shouldn't have been she shouldn't have been like that, you know?
Yeah.
So,
and then I was like, Blackfire is running.
yeah.
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 So all this time it's been him.
Maybe there's like this pocket dimension she's seen everything too, you know?
Yeah, you mean with
Because
Iris?
those things like just matter doesn't disappear,
Yeah,
you
like
know?
Caitlin said,
It just
can't
transforms,
it can't be created or destroyed, but it can be changed. Yeah.
So maybe there's a pocket dimension that's created, or maybe there's an alternate place there, or you know, something
Right.
where they're being sent.
I mean, anything is possible when it comes to time travel. Really.
Yeah.
There's endless possibilities.
Yeah.
So.
When you're messing with time, anything is possible. Just like the great Doc said, wibbly wobbly, timey wimey.
Time is an interesting
The
construct.
great naked mole rat. Time travel is a cornucopia of disturbing concepts.
I still need to watch this.
Okay, the naked mole rat from Kim Possible, A Stitch in Time.
I still need to watch the special back in January, and
I still need to watch every doc.
And the new
next
special
season
that
of Jodie
aired,
started.
and the new special that aired on the 17th. Legend of the Sea Devil.
I'm waiting for it to come out on HBO.
So the last special apparently is going to have some people coming back, because she's doing 3 specials, and then they're doing the 60th anniversary special,
which is next year, right?
Yeah.
So there's 3 more episodes this season or this year.
No, I think there's one more special with Jodie this year, and then
the year's not even half over.
And then, yeah, I don't know, but I think there's going to be another one this year.
Right.
Because she did 13 and 3 specials to end her time as the Doctor.
Right. I wish we could have gotten her with another writer.
I know.
Yeah, I wish she would continue. Anyways, yes. So, is that everything you wanted to hit for episode 1?
Blackfire is Ronnie.
That's episode 2, Chica.
At the end of it, because he comes to Caitlin at the end of that episode.
At the end of. Oh, right. Yeah.
At the end of episode 10.
Yeah, he talks to her as the Blackfire at the end of the first episode.
Yes. And I was like,
yes.
Blackfire is Ronnie?
Right? I was hella confused. When he was like, save me, memories in the snow. And I was like, yes, memories of Snow. Her last name is Snow. Like,
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, that's pretty much all.
But, yeah. I was like, girl, you're just going through what Chester went through. Like, don't fall for it.
Well, that's what they were thinking.
I
do like how they showed all the memories with like Ronnie and Caitlin, and how they like got together and like this stuff.
Right, in the second episode. Yeah. So we're moving on to the second episode now. Yeah. Okay.
And honestly, I think that
we needed that.
That he's,
we needed the flashbacks.
Yeah, we did.
In order to understand why Caitlin is going so gung-ho to save him.
Yeah, like, and I think that he's better looking than Stephen Amell.
Yes.
Sorry, not sorry.
Right. But yeah, no, I was
I think it's the personality with Stephen Amell, like the way he comes off to me. I'm not interested in that. But Robbie's more chill and he's like more cool. And he just kind of has that different vibe about him.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah. So who's like when Caitlin gave all the as to why it's Ronnie, I believed her right away. Like, did you?
oh, and she was telling the team.
Yeah, when she was telling the team, she's like, "Look, I tracked the signature of it. It's stuff like it's found in the singularity. Ronnie died in the singularity. Like,
Yeah.
and then like how like the mind and the chemical imbalance that was created of mourning and loss and everything when
I believed that.
perished."
I believed that. Like I believed that, you know, he was when she was telling them that.
Mm-hmm.
But and I understood why she was so desperate to save him.
Right.
Because of the connection she had with him and because that's what she believed that he wanted from her.
Mm-hmm.
But I also think that Cecile wasn't wrong
Yeah.
in her gut feeling about it. And that how he spoke to her, you know, because you know she's like,
It
oh, I've
wasn't
never
the
been that
fire that came to her. Like, how do you? It wasn't the fire that came to her. The fire isn't like like okay. Cecile was not wrong. Ronnie wants to be released, right? That's what he wants. But because of what we know by the end, like that's what brings it all together. You know? It's like Ronnie is still alive. And she's right. He's being tortured. Still being tortured. Even though he's physically there, he's still being tortured.
Mhm.
You know? Like for me, there's two entities within Ronnie's body right now. It's just like what happened with Frost's dad, right? With Snow's dad. Okay, it's just like what happened there. There's the overwhelming evil side, right? And then there's the human side that's not quite strong enough to break through and control everything. And I think that Ronnie is probably not strong enough because he spent so long being controlled and pushed down that he's tired of fighting. There's nothing left of him. Not really. And so the only part left of him is Caitlin. And that's why it started seeking out Caitlin, because once it realized that it was dying, that it needed fuel, and so it started going after everyone that knew Caitlin so they could find Caitlin to survive. Like, because like Barry said, it's too good to be true. It's been years since he died in the singularity, you know? So it's just like the Blackfire has existed since the singularity, but it didn't have a need to go around killing anyone because it wasn't dying yet. But the longer it's spent in our world, the less cold fusion it had, the less of the singularity particles there were in the atmosphere.
Yeah.
And that's what was feeding it. You know, that's what was keeping it alive. And now the only thing that can keep it alive is the coldness within everyone's heart that's grieving.
Mm-hmm. And, you know, I think they were both right.
Mm-hmm.
Um, You know, with something like that, it needs to be contained. And because like, even though Ronnie is in there, it's surrounded by something that is bad and dangerous. And
Yeah.
so if they were able to like contain it and somehow like still be able to reach him and like talk to him, then it would be better, because
Right.
it would be contained, it wouldn't be hurting anybody else, and they'd be able to find a way to reach Ronnie somehow. But with this, with him being let out and having this device, he's stronger and he's Deathstorm now. And like, it's, I don't know. I'm conflicted, because I understand that, like, if I was in Caitlyn's shoes, I would probably feel the same way. And like she told Barry, if there was something wrong with Iris and she needed something like that, you would do everything you could to save her.
Right.
So like, because of that attachment and that love and that connection and that bond, they're going to do anything that they possibly can to save the person they love. And if there's any possibility that Ronnie is still alive, of course she's going to try to save him, because Ronnie was her husband. Ronnie was the one person of all the people that have been in her life, aside from Frost, that knew her best and that she was connected with that way. You know, because she's gone through so much loss, so much heartache and sadness, and to find that there's this sliver of hope that her husband might still be alive. I mean, yeah, of course she's going to do everything she possibly can. So I understand her reasoning did, of course. But at the same time, it's like, you don't know how bad this has become. Like, you don't know that like he's been tortured so much from all this grief, that
what's it done to him,
that what's it done to him. Like, there's this underlying evil that's there, that's controlling him. Like, and that's what Cecile was trying to say, that like, he wants to be at peace from this grief and this torture, but I don't think that he's saying he wants to be saved, because it's bad. Like, there's bad within that. And you know, so
he probably sees that even if he is saved, like what Caitlyn wants to do, that he wouldn't be who he was. And that's what she wants. She wants Ronnie back. But it wouldn't be Ronnie anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it would be, but the core of who he was, he would just be a shell.
Yeah.
And that's no way to live, you know?
And it's just like, about, like, you know, like, she's trying to bring back this past version of him that she knows and that she remembers and she loves, but it's like, he's never going to be the same Ronnie that she loves anymore.
Yeah.
Like, she can bring him back, but he's not going to be that.
Yeah. So, since we're talking about what happened at the end, let's talk about Chalegra, because that's what she said was a precursor to what happened at the end. So how cute was
I really liked that scene, honestly, with them.
Yeah.
I had that down. I was like, Chester and Allegra scene.
Right, like, what's up, party people, all the way around. Like,
I just love how, you know, Jo is the one who can always get through to Barry, and Allegra is always the one who can get through to Chester.
Can you hear that?
kind of.
Okay, that's the neighbors. They're blaring their car radio.
Oh, it's
I
I
just didn't
can't
want
hear
it to interrupt
I
anything. I'm
can't
sorry.
hear it very well. Um,
Okay.
but anyway, it's like Joe is the one who's the voice of reason. He can always get through to Barry. Allegra is always the one who can get through to Chester.
Mm-hmm.
And I like how there's that whole, parallel of that.
Yeah. I
So,
do like how she said there are some things you shouldn't that shouldn't be, advertised. He's like, but science is for everyone. And it's
but
like,
not everybody's you.
right. And I'm like, I cannot wait for the time they face an enemy that was created because of what Chester's doing. He needs a reality check.
He does.
Like, he does trust in what Allegra said, but he doesn't understand it fully.
Because I like the fact, it's great that, like she said, that he wants to share his knowledge and he wants
Mm-hmm.
to become scientists and like be into that like he is. But not everybody's him. And there's a lot of people that are going to abuse that and use it in ways
Right.
that it's not meant to be used. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what she's trying to
And
tell him.
right. And like, so this means that every device he's made since he joined, he has live streamed. So which device is going to come back and kick his ass?
Yeah.
Like, like I cannot wait for that, because then he'll realize, yes, Allegra was right, even though he knows in some level inside of him that she's right. He doesn't fully comprehend and understand that, because he's so like, science needs to be shared. He doesn't understand that not everything does. And he understands it to some extent, but he doesn't fully grasp the concept. And so I can't wait for the moment that he has to face that reality. And then that will help him, because he'll still be able to do his live streams, just not everything that they do. And I think, yes, he'll be a little gun shy for a while about live streaming the technology, but there'll be some things like the technology to create those drones that one dude did, right? What was his name? Like Chewy or whatever, right? Chewbacca, something or other. Yeah. Like, he created those drones that get food to needy people and whatnot, right? Which is amazing. Well, those drones, when I first heard that, I thought Killer Bee, or whatever her name was, right? Yeah. She uses those drone bees. Like, you probably created those drones to counteract her bees. Like, it's just, there's going to be a villain who's going to be able to take that and either add to it or just replicate it in general. Like, even something as harmless as those drones, you know? But like, those drones, yes, that was something that, of course, you should have live streamed, and it would be used like this. Yes, there's ways for every advancement in technology to be used for evil, but sometimes those costs like are outweighed by what could happen on the good side, like with the drones. But sometimes, like with bringing people back to life, she's dead. Like,
well, like
because
Allegra was saying, death is finite. Like, there's certain things that you should not do, and one of them is trying to bring back the dead.
Right. So this is where she says that her grandma used to say something in Spanish that translated to, it's the darkest night, right? Or blackest night, or whatever. Well, this is what hinted at the fact that we would get Ronnie back and have Deathstorm, because there is a story arc within the universe called Blackest Night. And it is amazing and mind-boggling. And because the way Diggle ran off the last time he ran off of the Flash, right? Like he pulled out the ring, put it on his finger, is like, I have something I have to go do, right? So you know he's gonna go join the Lantern Corps, right? So she's like, okay, well, this is something that the Lantern Corps dealt with. This is a Lantern Corps issue. In the Blackest Night, there was introduced the Death Corps and the Light Corps. And
Green Lantern
the Death
Corps, yeah.
The Death Corps, basically, if a ring of the Death Corps was placed on anyone, it would bring them back to life. Right? Like, so if any hero fell, they got resurrected and joined the evil side. Like, well, not really evil side. Like, death is neither evil nor good. It's, you know, just the end. But so Deathfire, that was his name, right? Deathfire, whatever. Deathstorm. He's one of those. He's a Black Lantern. He's death.
For reference,
and
here's the Blackest Night fandom wiki page that gives you the whole story of what that comic is about.
Yes. So,
or it's the DC database, sorry.
Okay. And so I wanted to make sure that I heard everything correctly in that Chalegra scene and what we saw at the end, right? So I went and watched the review by Paigey. Amazing E3, you guys need to watch his stuff. I mean, he knows a lot of comic stuff and awesome. So I watched it to have confirmation, because I was like, I recognize this name. I think this is what it's about, especially because of the end, but I need to double check, right? So I used his review to double check, and I mean, yes, I was right, but then he mentioned that that Thawne was supposed to come back, Eddie. And this could be how it happens. They resurrect the dead of those that they loved, right? The ones that they loved get resurrected, and they have to fight them. So what if Eddie comes back as a Black Lantern? Just like Deathstorm, right? I mean, yes, Deathstorm doesn't have a lantern ring. I would like for it to become a lantern issue, strictly because that's what it is in the comics. And we have a Green Lantern,
White Lantern Corps and Brightest Day begins.
Yeah, Brightest Day, Darkest Night. See,
there's
part of the
There's 8 comics.
Yeah.
In that story.
See, the thing I find interesting is that in order to charge the power, the ring of willpower, which is the green ring, right? The chant that they say in order when they stick their hand in the ring in the charging lantern, Blackest Day, Darkest Night, let no evil escape my sight, right?
And because they gave into the fear, that's why it happened.
So it's fear and death and all of that. And so I'm like, okay, so Diggle should be monitoring Earth as part of his region.
Mhm.
And so he should find out what's happening. He should get an alert of some kind, and then alert the Lantern Corps. And so we're gonna get Green Lanterns. Like, give me Kilowog and like all these freaking amazing alien Green Lanterns that I love so much. Like, give me them. Give them to me. And
Yeah.
like, please, like, let us do this. Like, yeah, I don't. I mean, we keep getting the Ferris air thing, right? We did for a while there.
Mhm.
So, what if Diggle isn't the first human Green Lantern? Like, let's do this thing. Let's just bring in the Lantern Corps, because you're already doing it with Deathstorm.
Mhm.
And if you don't do this story arc right, you're gonna have a lot of fans bitching at you.
Yeah.
So I'm excited, because if Barry can't fight them, like, yes, they're in the storyline, like, the heroes have had time to like prove themselves kind of in some sort of way to the Lantern Corps, right? And they all get a ring in order to fight against them, right?
So tonight's episode is called Death Rises.
Death Rising, yeah. So they're bringing back the dead. Death Rises.
With Death Rises.
Okay.
With a new meta terrorizing the city, Joe lends a hand to the local authorities. Meanwhile, Barry gets an assist from Cecile, who helps track the mass murderer. And then the week after that is called Death Falls. And so it says Team Flash is under attack, and each must fight to save not only themselves, but each other.
Okay.
And then after that, it's called Funeral for a Friend.
Funeral for a Friend.
Yeah. Team Flash uses the distraction of a bank robbing meta to detract from the grief of losing someone they love. Probably Ronnie.
Yeah. Because they're finally able to lay him to rest.
And then the one after that is called Into the Still Force, but that doesn't have a description yet.
Yeah. And we kind of understand what that one's going to be about.
Well,
just by the name.
The show, the season's actually going to go into June. Because of how late in the year it started and then the break that it took, it's not going to be able to finish its season by next month. So I think June 29th is when the finale is supposed to be. So, because I mean, we have 9 more episodes left.
Right.
This was only episode 10 and 11. We're not even half. Yeah. We're like halfway through the season now.
Right.
And it's the end of April.
Mm-hmm.
Like, most shows only have like 3 or 4 episodes left at this point for their season.
Right.
Yeah. This show has 9.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah.
So we still have a while. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's just.
And apparently episode 17, Danielle Panabaker directed.
Oh, nice.
Because I watched this.
Which one is
video. That? It's called Keep It Dark. It's episode 17.
Okay.
But I watched this little video on her Instagram that she did like a check-in, and she was saying that she directed episode 17. So
nice. So yeah. I believe that what Cecile heard was in fact Ronnie, because we didn't see the fire, and every time the fire shows up, that's when we hear the Ronnie,
Mm-hmm.
right, speaking. And so I believe that what Cecile heard was the real Ronnie asking to be let go. So she wasn't wrong. She heard Ronnie. And Caitlin heard the aspect of Ronnie,
Mm-hmm.
right? The aspect that's still hanging on, that wants to be reunited with her because of all the anguish and
Because
loss
Cecile
that it
is
feels.
able to actually, like, it actually got in her mind. Like, she was actually able to feel the anguish and feel
Mm-hmm.
the pain and everything. And that's
Yeah,
why she's like, we need to end the suffering.
right. Like, it's it's the truth of what Ronnie wants versus what Ronnie's saying. And the truth of what Ronnie wants is because he's just done. He doesn't want to go through this again. He's essentially died twice now,
Yeah.
brought back to die for a third time.
Mm-hmm.
This time,
Yeah. Hmm.
be in a body completely be everything, or he met with, like, you know, it
Yeah.
it was all confusing, and in some way it was a torture. And I'm pretty sure that Ronnie remembers all of that. And now for him to go through this, for you to ask him to come back to life and live another life with you, like, is basically, you're putting him back in that same situation because he's such a good guy. He's not gonna step back from the fight. He's gonna join Team Flash again and get put in another situation where it's either him or the rest of the damn universe. And you can't ask him to keep doing that with his life.
Yeah.
Like, it wears you down.
She's gonna
There's
keep
got to be
losing
this
him no matter what.
mental
Like,
anguish that
she's gonna
he's
keep
going
losing him
through
no matter what.
because he just can't do it anymore.
Yeah. And she's gonna keep losing him no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
having to deal with losing him every time. Like, literally, it's like that freaking what if scenario on that episode with Doctor Strange, where, like, every time he tries to, like, change what happened with his woman,
Mm-hmm.
she always dies. Like, he can't change that.
Right.
It's like a fixed point that's always gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
He's always gonna lose her, and there's nothing that he can do.
Yeah.
And, the pain of having to go through that constantly would be unbearable.
Right.
And, so.
And I think Ronnie, like, he also knows that not only can he just doesn't want to go through all that again, but the strain that it puts on Caitlin every time.
Mm-hmm.
He can't do that to her again.
That's what I'm saying.
He doesn't
like,
want
she can't
to.
handle that.
No. She just broke up with a guy that was amazing for her because she thought there was a chance to get him back. Like, now when she has to kill him, because now that's what she has to do, right? Like, you brought him back, but it's not him. Now you gotta kill him. The other times he sacrificed himself. This time you gotta do it yourself. Like, and you just dumped a guy that would help you through this situation. Like, this girl, I'm so sorry for her, but she brings it on herself.
She does. That's why I was just kind of like, it's not going to be the Ronnie that you want. It's not going to be the
No.
Ronnie that you love. You know, but of course she has to see that to understand that he's not her Ronnie, because she's so focused on saving Ronnie that anything that anybody else says is against her, and not supporting the team, and not being family and all this stuff. And it's like, they know. Freaking Barry, like he said, when he tried to save his mom, everything that happened because of that, he's finally learned his freaking lesson.
Like, instead of having a daughter, Diggle has a son, right?
He's finally learned his freaking lesson with that, though, thank God. But like, you know, she's like, well, this isn't Flashpoint. It's like, no, but you're trying to bring back somebody who's not going to be the exact same person that you fell in love with. Like, the past version that you're wanting is never going to be the same person again. What's in the past is in the past. What's dead is dead. Like, stop trying to resurrect the freaking dead. Like, I'm sorry, but you're not God.
Like, okay, we destroyed all the resurrection pits for a reason, right? Like, we did that for a reason. There are no more resurrections, you know?
Like, I know she's a scientist.
We can't bring her back, like, throw him in like we did with freaking Sarah and
but I mean, even Sarah's not the same anymore,
right? Neither of them are the same anymore.
But it's like, but she's not nearly as evil as Ronnie has become. But
I mean, before she got her soul back, as
but like, you know,
I'm saying, we destroyed those pools for a reason, because death is finite, a moment, and it cannot be returned.
Like, it happens to everyone, and it's finite, and it's there, and you know, like, she needs to stop living in the past. She's never going to be able to move on as long as she's still living in the past and believing that this version of Ronnie that she loves is still alive out there.
Finally just let go.
She needs to let go. And that's why I was saying, like, maybe in order for her to do that, they could have contained it like Barry was gonna do, and then somehow like drawn Ronnie, like the consciousness of Ronnie, out of it, so that he'd be able to talk to Caitlin and she'd be able to fully let go and be able to move on and know that that he,
at this point, the only thing you're doing is trying to rescue his soul, his rest at peace. And that's the only thing you should be doing, is rescue Ronnie's spirit and go to peace. You know?
Like, I literally put in my notes, I was like, does he want to be at peace or does he want to be saved? Like, you know,
I mean, those are in fact two of the, they do mean the same thing, essentially, in this situation. Say, let me rest, you know? But Caitlin here saved me back, and then it's like, the true meaning of save me is to Cecile. Because Caitlin will never hear save me, let me die, you know? Caitlin doesn't want that. She even if she hears him say it, she won't understand.
So that's why it was kind of bothering me that like she was just totally against everybody, because I know that like she was so focused on what she was doing, and I understand. But
Yeah.
because of what they've dealt with, they know that it's not going to be what she's wanting. It's not going to be the same person.
Right.
And maybe we'll get to see once, they defeat this death storm, that at the end of it, she'll get to
maybe we'll get to see Ronnie's spirit floating away and he gets to say a final goodbye.
Exactly. And she'll get to have that closure and that way of moving on.
Yeah.
True way. Because she's never fully moved on from that.
Yeah, she never got to say goodbye.
Yeah. And so I hope that she gets to have that at the end of all of this. So that she's able to let go and know that, he's okay and he's at peace now and he doesn't have to be tortured anymore.
Yeah.
And so
yeah,
I really hope that for her sake that she gets that.
So
yeah. So Iris is not missing, but
I think that because the girl can phase through objects, right? She can create
Tiana
a phasing. So I mean, theoretically, she could phase into another reality, into another existence. She doesn't even, I don't even think she really understands what she just did.
I don't think so either.
And so I think she phased her into almost like the mirror world, right? Where she's there, but she's not there.
Well, somehow she comes back from that, because in the clip that I watched for tonight's episode, she was brought back to like where she's been staying,
Right.
And Sue was there with her and Barry was there. And, Sue had explained to Barry what happened. And so he was just like, oh my gosh, like what happened and all this. And she like lets them have time to themselves. And he wants to sit down with her and she's like, moving away from him because she's afraid that the same thing's going to happen.
Yeah.
And Barry's like, I'm not afraid. And he touches her like leg or whatever. And nothing happens and it's okay. And somebody on Tumblr like about that clip was saying, they love how much trust they have between each other. And like the fact that he's not afraid.
Yeah.
And, just that bond and that trust, knowing that like, that's not going to happen.
Yeah. Well, I think we've covered everything, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I just wanted to talk about that. I mean, I'm sure we'll talk about it when we actually see the whole episode. But I saw the clip that was released, and so I just wanted to talk about it.
Right. Yeah. No, like if you watch the actual promo, like I don't know, I went on YouTube and I found like the promo, not like a release clip. I found the promo. Straight up looks like a horror movie. Like you get like such a suspenseful like feel from it. I was like,
they always do that with the promos though. They always make it like that, and then when you see the episode, it's like not.
Right? But I was like, oh my gosh, they did so good on this specific promo. Like, it's like the first promo that really, really got me. I was like, oh my Atlanta, this is actually, wow. Like, I'm not expecting that at all.
Yeah.
But like the way it made me feel, I was like, I haven't felt this way for a promo in a while. So it's worth a watch.
Can you watch it live or no?
No.
You still have to watch it on that.
So I don't know when I'm gonna be able to do the review for tonight's episode. So the review for that will come out when it comes out.
Okay.
I'll be
I
in
kind of
touch
just
with
want
you
to
about
watch
that.
it though, just to see it.
Right.
But yeah,
Yeah, so because I have a busy schedule for the rest of the week, so I don't know
right.
when I'm gonna be able to find time.
That's fine.
But and then the rest of y'all, it'll come out when it comes out. So
Well, these are coming out when they're coming out, so
yeah.
2 weeks late.
Yep. So I guess
Until next
until
time,
next time,
keep believing in
keep
the
believing
impossible.
in the impossible.